Right, good afternoon everyone and welcome to this week's Link for Growth South West Herts TV show. My name's Diane Richardson, and on this week's show we have a usual array of correspondents and reporters talking about various things that are happening in Watford and the surrounding areas. We'll start with Tania. Hi Tania.
Hi there, Diane, how are you doing? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
Oh, well, I couldn't then, but I can now.
Okay, you got what are the headlines, the summaries?
Yeah, headlines today, Diane. So we've got local council elections coming up on the 5th of May. I've got some information for you on those. Some fabulous news about regulation, and that's very unusual for us to say. And a new school in central Watford.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Hopefully, the gremlins will have moved from your line by the time you come to see your main. Hello. Chris will be doing, hopefully, doing a review on the market because it's been 18 months since it opened, and we thought it was a good opportunity to go down and review what's happening. And he's also talking about some of the other news, some of the other empty units towards the top of the town that are going to be filled by new shops in the next couple of months or so. Now, Neal, you're taking a look at Antony, Joshua, and a whole lot of other stuff.
Yeah, I'll be previewing Watford's Olympic hero as he battles to win a world title tomorrow.
Yeah, and are you going to talk about last week's Watford game for us?
Unfortunately, I do have the dubious pleasure of doing that, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Neal. We look forward to it later. And Catherine, you're kind of encroaching on Neal's things because one of your headlines is the Peace Hospice are doing fundraising with rugby.
Absolutely, yes. Little sporty link there to follow Neal's sporty items. Yeah, we've got Peace Hospice news, various charity news bits and pieces. Lots and lots going on for the Peace Hospice at the moment, actually. And some yellow comedy, and also some news of what's going on culturally at the Coliseum.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Very briefly, we'll start with some of the things that happened at last week's growth events. There was coffee at Barracuda last Saturday, which is next to where the High Street entrance to the market is. Chris was down there and spoke to a couple of people about what Link for Growth is and what it does. Last Monday there was Link for Coffee at the Kitchen Croxley. I'm told that Chris missed out on the opportunity of having some lemon drizzle cake because he wasn't able to attend that one, but somebody else looked after it on his behalf, and he had a coffee morning at Regis last Wednesday, and yesterday Perk Coffee in Carpenter's Park held Link for Growth coffee morning for us between 9:30 and 11. Tania, there's lots of news around. I suppose the biggest news is that Watford Council have announced their candidates for their local elections, borough elections, that are coming up on the 5th of May.
That's right, Diane, yeah. So there's 2 elections happening at the moment. There's elections for the Hertfordshire Police and Crime Commissioner, PCC, so that's all of Hertfordshire, and then that council area as well. There's for the PCC there are 4 candidates: Mark Hughes for the UK Independent, David Lloyd for the Tories, Kerry Pollard for Labour, and Chris. Say that's across the whole of Hertfordshire.
Tanya, we're losing you quite badly. Okay, we seem to have lost Tanya completely. Her screen seems to have frozen. Yes, there are 4 candidates, as Tanya said. I'll just repeat them because the line was quite bad. That's Mark Hughes for UKIP, David Lloyd, who's the incumbent for the Tory party, Kerry Pollard for the Labour Party, and Chris White for the Liberal Democrats. Now, the Police and Crime Commissioner posts were created back in 2012 at the abolition of local police authorities, and the idea is that they give local democratic accountability to how the police spend their budgets and what budgets are going to be spent when and where, and they work very much hand in hand with the chief constables. So they're being elected on the 5th of May, and also in Watford Borough Council, the entire council is up for re-election this year. Each ward has got 3 candidates from the 3 main parties, the Conservative Party, the Labour Party and the Liberal Party, and then the Greens, and UKIP have also got 2 or 3 candidates standing in each ward as well. So we're not going to go through the whole list of candidates because it's a huge, great long list, as you can imagine, but let's just say that all of this is know that you'll be getting lots of election leaflets through the post in the next few days, a few weeks. But it is important, if you want to take part in either election, that you vote for and register to vote, I should say, by the 18th of April. And you can do that online at Watford Council. And if you live in either Hertsmere or in Three Rivers District Councils, you can do it online as well for those boroughs. The whole of the council, as I said, for Watford is up, so it's well worth registering your vote, because if you don't have 1 vote, you'll have 3, as I understand it, when you vote this time. So you can, so it's important for people to go and vote. The other thing is that in Watford, and we talked about this a little bit, and Chris has talked about it in the past, the Better Business for All partnership between Hertfordshire councils and local businesses become the only initiative of its kind in the UK to be shortlisted for 2 national awards. This is quite a rare thing, obviously. The main aim of the partnerships is to help businesses grow their productivity and profit margins by complying with, but not restrained by, regulations. BBFA of Hertfordshire Group now operates from its own website, which we'll put the link up later, and business can learn how learn how regulators can help them find contact details for everyone they might need to speak to in the helpful regulation directory. The project team are now working on a variety of specific projects to support local businesses, including investing ways to help businesses check employees' ability or eligibility to work. The judges praised BBFA Hertfordshire for making regulators more confident to signpost each other's services into businesses and for understanding business challenges better. As a result, other partnerships are now attending Hertfordshire's regulator training to experience good practice to replicate it in their own programs. So that's really good news for Hertfordshire. They came 2nd in the innovation and 3rd in the partnership categories of the recent awards as well. So it's really good news for Watford and Hertfordshire, and hopefully that will be the start of driving more business into Watford, which would, if we get Chris in time, will link very nicely into some of the things that he's going to be talking about later. Tania, are you back with us?
Help or not, though. Whether you can still hear me, if it'll help. Where have you got to, Diane?
Okay, well, I've done the Better Business, and I was just about to start the St John's Free School.
Okay, a new free school in the area, which is nice. Clay's building there along Clarendon Road, and it's hoped it will relaunch of 2018. So it will be space along Clarendon Road there, filled again with lots of lovely children up and down there. And nice to have a mixture of homes and businesses and schools here over there.
Yeah. I mean, it's the old Barclays building, which is where it's going to be on Clarendon Road. It's quite a big building, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So I used to be in the building next door to it, and it's a nice part of town over there. There's lots of lovely, very close to the train station, of course. So yeah, right. I don't know, planning application in yet, as tall as the current building, but it's a nice big site. Yeah, good spot.
Yeah, and there's quite a big car park at the back, which could be converted into an outdoor play area, couldn't it?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Whether they'll need it as a play area, or whether they'll need it for space, or whether they'll need it for parking, who knows? But yes, it's a tall building with a big parking area out the back. I would have imagined that. Well, I don't know what they're going to do. It down and build new. They're talking about having a purpose-built school, so I'm assuming that they're going to knock down and start again.
Okay, that's great. The other news is that, and it's kind of related to construction and building, is that the government have announced that there's £1 million government grant for Hertfordshire to fix potholes.
Diane, yeah, so we get £1 million. I didn't know before, but apparently we've got the second in the country, second only to. Sorry, Diane, I didn't hear you.
That I also found quite staggering that this is the second busiest county in the whole of England, and it's very close to Surrey, which is the busiest county for road use in the country. Really, really interesting piece of information there. And one of the criticisms that £1 million that the government has way for us is that actually, I think reading between the lines, if they'd have done it on terms, it'd have been quite a bit bigger than £1 million. But yeah, it's a million potholes. Which interest for we seem to have a really bad line with you.
In that case, Diane, will you please take the
I'll take it
issues, because there's nothing that I can do about that.
No, I know you can't. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tania. Unfortunately, Tania is having quite a few technical difficulties today on the phone line into the building where she works. But basically, what it is. The central government have given Hertfordshire County Council £1 million extra grant to fix the potholes. As Tania was talking to you, but you may not have picked up, Hertfordshire is the second busiest road usage county in the whole of the country, Surrey being the first. Many of the opposition groups are saying that this £1 million extra funding is nowhere near enough to fix the 18,000 potholes that are currently in the county, and it could have gone. This money could have been better spent by fixing some of these potholes earlier. Talking of roadworks, Clarendon Road is going to be closed next week for 4 nights, whilst they investigate why the road has sunk, and several incidents have happened, like that manhole that sunk back in February, collapsed, and why these depressions are appearing in the road. They're wondering if it's due to there being sinkholes or some other effect down there. So they're going to have to close the entire road down over the next 4 nights, starting next Monday night, whilst they do investigations. The diversions take you everywhere. So if you follow the official diversion signs, you will end up going round the ring road and everything to get from one end to the other. So the advice is probably, if you do have to use Clarendon Road, that middle section between the crossings to St John's Road and the ring road, is to stay well away and to plan your journey beforehand, so you don't need that piece of the street, because that's the bit that's going to be closed. Hi Chris, welcome.
Hi Diane, can you hear me all right?
Just about, yes. Actually, we've got a better signal on your mobile, and we managed to get on the landline from Tania's office today.
Well, it's really interesting because I actually can't see myself on this screen. I can just see a picture of my ugly mug, but I can't see what's actually being displayed on the screen, which is a little bit disconcerting, I have to be honest. But there you go.
Okay. Right. Well, it's been 18 months since the market opened, and I know that you've kept a close eye on what is happening, how the market is developing, and stuff like that. So we thought it was time just to go and have a quick look around and to update people to what is happening on the market. It's been a while.
Yeah, well, I'll put it on front screen. Let's just make sure that you can actually see something. And can you see that all right? Can you see?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so I'm in the high street here, as you can see, and there's a few stalls out here under the flyover, as you can see. But it's not as busy in this section as it used to be. I think that's a fair assessment of the situation. And there's some interesting things going on in the actual shops themselves. So we've got B&M bargains here, as you can see, and we've got a shop here which I'm coming up to, which is Presents. Now, Presents closed down a little while ago. And what's actually going to be there, as I understand it, from Gary. Now, Gary runs the fruit and veg stall that's there. That's not Gary there, that's his son. But what's going to be here in Presents apparently is a Tesco, one of them Tesco locals that's coming there. So that's quite interesting, because we've got another like little sort of fruit and veg and other kind of store down here, which you can see, which is like Bon Appetit. Now, rumour has it that that place is going to be turned into a fast food store, right? So now this guy who runs this place, Bon Appetit, he used to be on the market doing meat, halal meat, if you remember that. So he's come off the market and he's come into the high street and he's now heading into a fast food establishment. So the dynamics of this part of the town are incredibly fluid. Now, I don't know whether you can see ahead. Can you see that multi-York building in the distance there? Well, rumour has it that that is going to be turned into a Poundland, Poundland shop. Now, I was walking down the town the other night, and Poundland has moved from where it was, which was next to where Wilco's is now. It was there in the old Woolies building. It's closed there now, and it's down a bit further. It's sort of down by Marks and Spencer's, down that neck of the woods, and that's a brand new shop they've got down there. And it looks like they're opening a second one here, or maybe another one of the similar ilk. So that's going to put pressure on the market here, because we've got people offering fairly low-cost items here, but that's going to obviously be put that under pressure. Now, I haven't actually spoken to Grant or asked him if he wants to talk a little bit here, but I'm gonna just lurch on him now. Grant,
hello.
How you doing, mate? We're doing like local TV again today.
Okay.
So we've got a few changes here. Gary was telling me that we've got a Poundland coming here, or something that's going to be moving in over here.
It used to be. On rumour, I heard it was coming in the present shop. But...
Well, that's Tesco's apparently.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so we
used to be as well then.
Well, what's happening is there's some change, isn't there?
Yeah.
So how it's 18 months now since the market opened.
Okay.
And there's been a lot of changes.
Nice.
What's your feeling on it?
My feeling at the moment, it's not doing great. It's been a very hard few months.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they can still put it round. I mean, they are getting some new people in. I think the street market is certainly doing okay. Although, to be fair, the last month has been hard. But I think that's generally retail-wise, to be fair. Inside is struggling, and it needs to be filled up.
How are they getting on with the surrounds now? I mean, because that was one of the big moans in the early days. Is that anywhere near finished?
As far as I'm aware, it's supposed to be finished by this.
Right, okay.
But it's supposed to be finished by the end of the last one. So who knows?
There are some new people in there, though. I've seen
there's a Portuguese food place upstairs.
Oh, is there?
There's a clothing store downstairs. There's the pet guys are reasonably new.
Yeah.
There's a new lovely organic vegan sort of bakery downstairs.
Right, okay.
You know,
is that good?
She's put a lot of effort into it.
Okay.
It's really good. The baker, I believe.
Yeah.
And what else? A beauty place around the back doing sort of I think there's a few others coming in. I think the phone guys are actually moving in as well. It's the guys that are out here now.
Oh, okay.
So there are a few new people in there, and there's been a few other newish guys like the carpet guy and stuff like that who's been here a little while now. A lot of the old school have left. You know, there was always going to be change. Whether it's for the good or bad, you know, that's for the public to decide. Really,
what's happened with the second fish shop with Joe? Because he was going to have another. Joe was going to have another.
I think he may have been changing his mind there. I think, in my opinion, probably for the best. Don't really see how he's going to split it. You know, if you do shellfish on one end and fish on the other.
Fish on the other.
Yeah, it's a bit silly, really. So I don't really know how he's going to split it. But
all right.
I'm hoping. I think I'm speaking to the manager. They're looking for something else to go in there, perhaps a delicatessen or something like that.
Well, the warmer weather's coming now, so it's something to look forward to.
Let's hope so.
All right, thanks for talking to us.
No worries, Scott.
Cheers now, bye.
Take it easy, yeah.
So there you go, Diane. There's a lot of changes been going on, and you know, it's tough. It's been tough. I mean, the toughest months in any market are January, February, March after the Christmas rush. The winter sets in, and it's a long slog until the end of March. But who survived in the street? Yeah, we've got food in the street here, as you can see, and the food stalls I think do quite well, especially at the weekends. If you want me to, I'll just take a quick wander into the market, just so as you can see the current state of play in terms of the side rails that they've been putting on, because this is something that's been an ongoing saga. If you remember, in the early days, the biggest problem was that there was no protection, and if you remember when we were going around having sandwiches on Saturday morning, there was some pretty cold mornings there, I think you can remember.
I do.
Anyway, sorry?
I do remember.
Yeah, so...
It's about to come out now, a year later.
Well, this is supposed to be finished at the end of this month. But it was supposed to be finished at the end of last month. In fairness, I can't see anybody working here, to be honest. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here, but there doesn't seem to be a whole load of what's happening. This has changed a little bit. You can see the diner there in the distance. That was in the corner, it's moved. So it looks a bit tidier up here. But not a lot going on, as you can see, really. I'm going to walk just briefly. I don't know whether you've been here, Catherine, of late, or whether you've not managed to wander in here, but...
Not for a while, no, I haven't been there for a while. I must admit, we used to have the occasional meal upstairs, but it became quite hit and miss as to who was there and who was open. There's an awful lot of places that have disappeared, aren't there?
Yeah, I'm just going to see if I can grab Joey. Joey, hi mate.
Hello, mate.
How you doing? Don't worry about your wet hands.
Oh, yeah.
What, can you give us an update? What's happening with the extra stall up the end there? Is it going ahead or...?
At the moment, I don't know.
Right, okay.
I don't know what's happening, because I don't know what's happening with AC3.
But you're sold out. Fish is going well still?
Yeah, we're doing right, yeah.
Brilliant.
We're doing right. It's hard work, but it's...
Steady.
Doing it. Yeah, the wholesale's really busy. It's amazing.
Yeah. Still buying from you up the hill?
Oh, yeah, sushi bar there. Loads of fish.
Great stuff.
Loads of fish. It's good.
I got smoked mackerel tonight from your good self, so...
Good. Yeah, it was only smoked Wednesday night. Beautiful out.
Brilliant.
Really good.
Cheers, Joe. Take care. See ya. Cheers. There you go. That's Joe. He's doing all right still. But you can see it's well, it's not a lot open actually. To be fair. Hang on. What day is it? Friday. We should be open. Well, obviously it's early closing, except for one or two stalls around the corner. There you go, you got a few things going on around here, but that's what it looks like at the moment, gang. So there's a lot of shut stalls. I'm going to tell you something now which is a bit odd. it doesn't feel that cold on this market. I know that's going to be a bit hard for some people to believe, because even on a hot summer's day, somehow it managed to be cold in this market. But I'm telling you now, it's not the coldest place in Watford right now on here. So that's something a bit new. There you go, Diane. That's a little bit of an update from the market. Do you want me to? Is there anything else you want to know?
No, it sounds to me, Chris, as if the change that was going to happen was, which everyone thought might be a bit quicker, is actually taking a lot longer than was ever envisaged.
Well, if you look at the original plans for the market, and I'm not out of turn saying this, it did have this sort of protection around the edge, and of course it took until the end of the winter last year for everyone to realise that without that protection, essentially you can write off December, January, February, March, and any cold days or wet days that seem to get, that came along. So the protection is well needed, but it's been a long time coming, and the market has changed. It's different to what it was originally. I always said that would be the case. It needed to reinvent itself as something different. You can't move a market that had been in that place for 37 years, 200 yards up the road with no bus stop and all that stuff that went with it, in a car park behind an old department store, and expect it to work. It was a hope that didn't come off, but it's a lot of hard work to put it back in place, and of course the people that have spent their money getting it to where it was didn't have an appetite for spending a load more, and so it's just going to be a slow, painful re-establishment of that market, and it's just going to take time. You can see probably in 3 or 4 years' time the organisation that runs it now, which is the market company that runs it, probably saying, well, I'm going to give up the ghost. And then it'll be, I still believe what you need is an association of market traders who've got a vested interest in making it work. While we've got another organisation looking to make a profit out of this, it's going to live. So, I know what I would do, but then again, I'm not in charge of it, so not yet anyway.
Okay, well, thanks very much for that, Chris. It was fascinating. I mean, one of the things I think that I noticed was the decals on the roller blinds at the front of the unit. They've got rid of that uniform black, and they've now got this, tried to introduce some colour in there, so the place is looking a bit brighter.
Yeah, but the unfortunate thing is you're looking at those and not stalls that are open.
True.
I would suggest that probably some murals painted by the college students would be of more value, really. But at least that would be an attraction, something to go and see when the market was in the, like it is now. Go and see the murals painted by the local college students in the market. Do you know what I mean? Let's be innovative, for heaven's sake.
I was going to say, they did do some a while ago, a few years ago, some of the students did a mural in one of the underpasses, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Road. Yeah, which was fantastic.
Yeah, that was between where Jury's Inn is and the RBS.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives the kids something to do at the college. It gives them something that they know to be permanent for a while. It could be annually renewed so that you get new inspiration from new students. There's just so many ways it could be turned into a positive experience, and there's wasted opportunities all over the place. So hopefully, when Link for Growth community building really hits town, we'll be introducing all these wonderful things, and what will be the venue to come. You know what I mean?
Well, thanks very much, Chris, and it was really fascinating actually just to see what has happened and to get a view from a couple of the traders. And we'll catch up with you later. There's of course Yellow Comedy Night again tonight.
Oh, am I doing a little spot on that in a little bit?
No, you're not. What I mean is, I'll see you down. I mean, it's your opportunity to read.
I thought for a minute there you thought I was one of the comedy spots, but I hadn't seen my name there.
No, don't worry, Chris.
It could be arranged, Chris. I'm sure if you have a word with Andrew. Moving swiftly on.
Yeah, moving swiftly on. All right, see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay, bye, Chris.
Bye now.
Okay. Neil.
Hello.
Hi. We're not going to start with Watford FC today. We're going to talk about Watford's boxers, Watford boxing hero, I suppose you call him, Antony Joshua, who's the gold medal winner from 2012 in the heavyweight division, and he's got a World Championship boxing match tomorrow night. Is it a boxing match or boxing fight?
1 second, Diane, sorry.
Okay. Right, okay.
It's alright, I'm still here. Sorry.
Oh, right. Okay, good.
It's a quick transaction. Yes, so Antony Joshua, reigning Olympic champion, will be going for a World Championship tomorrow against Charles Martin. It's a massive step up in quality for him, and it's going to be an interesting match because these are two guys who like to knock people out. So Antony Joshua's got a 15 for 15 and all knockouts, and Charles Martin's had 24 fights with 19 of them being knockouts. So it's a massive step up, a really exciting night, and it's not very often your local hero gets a World Championship title fight. But he could make history. He could become the first ever boxer to hold a Olympic title at the same time as a world title. It normally takes boxers a lot longer to reach this level in their career after being amateurs. So it's a really exciting day. It starts tomorrow evening. The program's on television about 6 o'clock. I wouldn't expect to see him on television till about 10 or even later. So get your seats ready, get the beers in or pizzas or however you prepare for a big fight, and get ready for the fish to start flying.
Yeah, I mean, how talented? I don't know if you follow boxing or not, but I don't follow it at all. But I mean, how talented is he?
This is a difficult thing to tell. He looks like the real deal. He looks like he can box, but all his fights, most of them end in the first 3 rounds, so you never get to see a lot of him. But his coaches talk him up as being able to be a tactical boxer if he needs to. But he himself says he doesn't mind walking through a couple of punches to try to land 4 or 5 more himself. So that's a dangerous ploy. He likes a scrap, and it's going to be interesting because when you've got that sort of style, as Buster Douglas will tell you, Mike Tyson, one punch can end it all. So it's going to be fascinating to see whether he does stick with his let's go forward and throw the punches, or whether he takes it to a more tactical fight.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Neil. Now, we've got to talk about it. I know you don't want to. I'm not particularly keen on wanting to myself, but Watford had yet another bad day at the office. Yeah,
and this one really highlighted the deficiencies in the team at the moment, because it was against Arsenal, a team we beat well in the FA Cup by turning up and having a magnificent game, by playing a really high-tempo pressing game. The team just didn't turn up against Arsenal this week. They looked lacklustre, they looked light, they weren't, I don't know, it just looked like they weren't trying it. And even Quique Sanchez-Flores admitted himself there were problems because he made substitutions before half-time and at half-time, which he rarely does. So he obviously knew he'd made a mistake in the selection, and he admitted as much in the press conference. It's what I feared, tell the truth. I know I was on the show last week, but I was away. But we were sitting in a bar watching it, 4 of us, and we all said we're not looking forward to this game. And it's systemic of what's going on at Watford at the moment. Of the players seem to have relaxed off and have the attitude that we're safe, my position in the team's safe, and as Troy Deeney said last week, there was some harsh words at the end of the game in the changing rooms. So maybe those harsh words will turn into a little bit of action this week.
Yeah, because Craig Cathcart has also said maybe a few of the lads have put their feet up, or he's quoted as saying that, isn't he?
He's quoted as saying that, and yeah, so that would actually say there's a little bit of unease in the changing room, and let's hope that's not a split. Let's hope it's just a G up to the rest of the team, because I'll say we're safe. Do you want to talk about the point situation now, or?
Well, I was just going to talk a little bit about what are the big problems, what we need to overcome, and then we can talk about the points and what is the problem, and is it just people have found out how Watford play and therefore are better at countering it? Is it that the players have kind of switched off because they're saving themselves, not necessarily consciously, but subconsciously, for the Wembley semi-final? Or is it that actually they were just very lucky in the first half of the season and the kind of luck has gone against them in the second half? Or is it a combination of all three?
Well, it's certainly not luck, because at the beginning of the season they were playing much better and they deserved the results they were getting. There was no luck involved at all, and they had a couple of unlucky results over the Christmas period, but this year I don't think any of the results have been unlucky. I think they deserve to lose the ones they deserve to lose, so looking at what else it can be, we're definitely playing players out of position, which doesn't seem to be helping. We're not playing players in their best position. The tempo we're playing at has dropped drastically. Now that could be because the players think they're safe, and mentally it could be that they're concentrating on the semi-final. Because the thing is, when you're playing at such a high level, when we talk about slacking off, you're only talking about 5%, and then all of a sudden you're not getting to the ball first, and your opposition is. So very, very fine margins. I would like to see slight restructuring of the formation, playing Capoue back in the middle where he should be playing. Gerardo and Abdi, who are playmakers, they're playing out wide where they shouldn't be playing. So I don't really mind who plays in the squad. I do trust Kike on that. I would just like to see players playing in their best positions.
Okay. Now, I know that you've done some analysis on the points that Watford need to be mathematically safe. And as I understand it, if Aston Villa lose tomorrow, they're relegated.
Yeah, Aston Villa are gone and done and dusted. So in all reality, I'm saying Watford are safe. I've been saying it for a long time. But when you look at the maths backs that up. 7 out of the last 8 seasons, 37 points has been enough to keep the team up. And if you look at the teams that could possibly catch us, Norwich, Sunderland and Newcastle, they're 3 of the bottom 4. 2 of them would have to get past us. There's 7 games left, and out of those 7 games, they would need to win 4. 2 of those teams would need to win 4 games, and that would mean Watford losing all the games. Now, the fact that we still have Aston Villa, Sunderland, Norwich to play are all below us, it's just not going to happen. It just doesn't. These things just don't happen in football. It's I'm actually hopeful we might have a little bit of a run, and because don't forget, we're only in 14th, and it's not as bad as some of the doomsayers are saying. If we win tomorrow, we could jump back up to 11th place. It's highly likely that we'll jump back up to 11th place. So, yes, it's been poor, and it's been poor for some weeks now. But if the players have had a heart-to-heart, and if they've sort of like pulled each other up by the bootstraps, it could be time to start turning it back around in our favour.
Okay. So what does, in your view, does Quique Sanchez have to do to fix the problems?
Well, he said himself, it's in the players' heads. It's in the players' heads definitely now. Unfortunately, there is no magic bullet to that. I think in my playing days, and if you look at, I didn't play at a great level, obviously, but if you just need those players on the pitch to really put the energy in, and for a long time that was Troy Deeney, and that was Watson, and they were leading by example. Even those sort of players just dropped off just a fraction, and I think that is reflected on the rest of the team, because if you have a couple of players in the team just working their socks off, looking like they're dropping down at the end of a game, it brings the rest of the team with them. and it really does, because some players don't naturally have that amount of energy in their game, and they need to sort of be carried along on a wave by the other players. So yeah, it could be as simple as that. It could be as simple as Troy Deeney doing something, going on an amazing run and putting in a tough tackle or something, and all of a sudden the adrenaline starts running in the rest of the team, and it could just change everything like that.
Okay, that's great. Now, already we're talking about next season, and Tommy Holborn is rumoured to be staying on and playing for Watford next year. Hopefully he'll be fit again.
Yeah, so he played for the under-21s, and he still has plans in the Watford squad, apparently. It's good because we're going to lose Nathan Ake at the end of the season. He plays as a full-back. He can play either side as a full-back and cover as a centre-back, and he's well respected at the club, so it was very unfortunate for him to get injured when he did. So he's missed most of the season, but it's very good to hear that he's still in the club's plans for next year, and I for one would like to see him in the squad.
Okay, that's great. And Watford, talking about someone who's actually a Watford player, and whether or not he's going to come or not, because of an interview he gave in Spain to Granada, where Alberto Tandera said he's staying at Granada next season and not coming to Watford.
Yeah, he's enjoying his time at Granada. I don't know what his talk is. He's only on loan there, so he's a Watford player, and the Watford coaches and teams seem to be quite relaxed about it and think it's just talk, just to gee up the Granada fans for the rest of the season. But the Pozzos, you never know. They one of the Pozzo family own that club as well, and they may think that it's best to leave him there if that's where he's happiest. I'd love to see him in the Premiership given a chance. He's a flair player, a winger, what we need, and I'm sure he won't be able to turn down a chance to play in the Premiership.
Yeah. And talking of wingers, according to Quiche Sanchez Flores, Watford's current poor run of form is affecting the career of one of their summer signings from last year, who's a winger, Steven Berghuis.
Yeah, so Stephen's not a happy chappy at all. He's been giving interviews saying how unhappy he is. He didn't really want to come to the club in the first place, but he did play a couple of games over Christmas, played really well, and then just got dropped again. So you can understand his frustration, especially seeing as the player holding his place is a lone player who we're not going to have next season if all the rumours are to be heard. So he was moved into the squad last week, didn't get on the pitch, but let's hope he gets some game time before the end of the season. I said this earlier in one of the earlier shows. Until we're safe, I can't see it myself, because for some reason Sanchez doesn't seem to have him in his plans straight away. Sanchez Flores seems to have this thing about building your team at the beginning of the season, and that's the one you play with. Apart from a few of his players he's brought in over Christmas, no one else has been able to break into the squad. So yeah, Steven, he's not a happy chap, Steven Berghuis, and unless we can get him some game time before the end of the season, I can't see him being here next year.
Okay, that's great. Now, more immediately, Watford play Everton tomorrow. They drew 2-2 in the opening game of the season at Everton. What are your thoughts?
It's an interesting opportunity for us. Yeah, when we scored 2-2 there, everyone was like, played really well and shocked that we've got such a good result. But it turns out Everton haven't been having the greatest of seasons either. So if we beat them tomorrow, we'll go above them. But that does need a complete turnaround in form in Watford, and I would very much suspect that we'll go out and we'll play tight and we'll try not to let a goal in, and I'll probably go for a draw tomorrow.
Okay, what, 0-0, 1-1 type thing?
Oh, we've got to score. Let's hope we score 1-1.
Okay. And do you think Quiche Sanchez Flores is using this as a kind of test to see which players he's going to play in the semi-final?
I would actually doubt it. I think he's probably already got the team in his head. He's played his specific players in the FA Cup, and I reckon he'll stick with them, to tell the truth. So he may start experimenting with formation and with players. Who knows? But that's not been his style up to now.
Okay, fine. Thanks very much for that, Neil. So it's a 1-1 draw you're predicting.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, great. Now, Kings Langley, they've gone back to, well, joined top of the league again, haven't they? They played 2 games last week, starting with last Saturday where they played Uxbridge.
Yep, so they had a 3-1 win at Uxbridge, which put them back top of the league. So everyone gets really excited that it's their time again. And then midweek, 0-0 draw against Fleetwood Town, and they're back to only being joint top. But it's going to go to the wire, this one, by the looks of it, because the other team got a better goal difference. So Kings Langley are going to have to start scoring some goals. But they're still in it. The manager's still confident they can do it. And although they dropped off, it was great that they won straight away to get next week. So at least it's not a run of bad form. And yeah, the teams around them are dropping points as well. So it's in their hands, I would say.
Yeah, and talking about it being in their hands, they're one of 4 teams who are in the promotion hunt, aren't they?
Yes. And I don't have the table in front of me right now. There's 4, but I would say it's between them and the team at the top at the moment. That would be my guess.
Yeah. Royston have a game in hand, which will give them a point lead over the other 2, but of course it's all dependent on them winning the game in hand. This time of the year, I mean, I'm not a footballer, never have been, but is it better to have games in hand or games played in points?
No, you want the points on the table. Games in hand don't count for anything. They really don't, because when the pressure's on for teams struggling to stay up, they raise their game, and the results get really erratic this time of year. So you want the points on the table.
Right. Okay. Now Kings Langley playing Barton Rovers tomorrow.
Yep, 3 o'clock kickoff, and they're away to Barton Rovers. 3 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, Barton, 18th in the league?
Yeah, but like I said, no easy games. They're going to be struggling themselves, and actually, Kingsley have dropped points against teams they should have beaten. So after 0-0 against Fleetwood, they're going to have to up it a little bit from that. But yeah, I'm going to predict to win for that one.
Okay, great. Local sports. You've got some news for us about some of the local teams.
Yeah, just a little bit of local sport for you. I have to give a shout out to Evergreen ladies, seeing as my nieces all play for them. They won last week and they went top of the table. That's the first time they've done that. And seeing as they finished almost bottom last year, or even rock bottom, I don't know. They've done a bit of a Leicester and they're top of their league now. And it's getting interesting actually, because the team behind them, Hitchin, have 2 games in hand, but Evergreen ladies are still to play them. So that's going to be their crunch game before the end of the season against Hitchin. So congratulations to them. Just a couple of other things. Watford Harriers last Wednesday had their first open athletics day. This is in the evenings, about 7 o'clock, and it goes on every 2 weeks. And anyone who's into athletics, running, discus, quite a few, they don't do all the events, but quite a few athletic events, sprinting, long distance running. You can just go along, you can turn up, and you can try to beat your best score. It's graded, so you'll be racing against people of a similar quality as you, and rather than just jogging around Canterbury Park, you can actually run with other people and compete and see how fast you are.
Yeah, because you're organising morning runs, aren't you? For those who...
Yes, I'm starting up a breakfast running club next Tuesday. 7 o'clock meeting time, leaving at 7:15 sharp, and it'll be a run around the park, 30 to 40 minutes. And then anyone who wants to come in for breakfast afterwards and coffee, they're welcome to. A lot of people like to run before work. For me, it's just I need to. I haven't done any for ages, so I thought just trying to drag some other people out as well.
Okay, that's great. Now, rugby union. And,
yes, sorry, Di, just one other thing before we go on to rugby. Because I should mention this because Kevin's been on the show and WD Sports, a great website. They've actually got a newspaper out in Watford now, a dedicated sports newspaper. So if you want to see more local sport, it's every Thursday and it's 60p, and it's all dedicated to Watford and local teams as well. So I'd recommend people pick that up.
Yeah, and do you know where it's on sale?
They say all your usual places, but actually my local newsagents and Sainsbury's didn't have it. I managed to pick it up at the Watford General Hospital, but I'm pretty sure it will, as people learn about it, that your local agents, if you ask them, they'll get it in for you.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for that, Neil. Rugby Union then. Clarendon. Now, they had a huge win last weekend.
Yes, huge, and it was tight as the proverbial Nats thing. 24 23 against Hammersmith and Fulham, who were their direct rivals, so it was the big game of their season so far, and they put them back top of the table, and now they have a game in hand. So hopefully with the game in hand, the extra points for try scored and the defence shouldn't come into it as long as they keep their winning streak going. So congratulations to Valerians.
Yeah, it was 16-16 at half time, which I think just shows you how tight that game was.
Yeah, it's they Hammersmith, and then they've been swapping the top place for a little while now. So yeah, they'll be well pleased with that.
Yeah, okay, that's great. And they've got one proper fixture this weekend, shall we say, and one fun fixture. So let's deal with the proper fixture first. Who are they playing tomorrow?
Yep. So tomorrow they are away to Hampstead, who they beat earlier in the season 15-8 place. Rugby normally goes to form, so they'll be expecting to win that. Let's hope there's not an upset, because otherwise I'm sure Hammersmith and Fulham will be capitalising on that. So I'm predicting a win for them on that game.
Okay, and a bit of fun on Sunday. The veterans for Clarendon are playing in a game. Come and learn how rugby should be played.
Yeah. The rugby old boys are turning out against Herts Police on Sunday at 2 o'clock, and Bet's games are always a fun day. They got a bar if you want to go in and have a beer, and the old boys always like to think they knew the game better than all the newbies. So so there'll be some old bones crunching together, and it'll be a bit slower than the younger chaps, but they'll be full-blooded, and it should be a good spectacle.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Neil.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Catherine, hi.
Oh.
Hi. Talking of rugby, Peace Hospice are doing a fundraising event with Saracens tomorrow.
Nice link. Yes, absolutely. Carrying on the sporty theme, but this time raising some money. The Saracens will play Harlequins at Wembley on Saturday the 16th of April, and they're donating a percentage of those ticket sales to the Peace Hospice, which is a fabulous thing to do. As I say, they're playing on the 16th of April. Kick-off is at 3:15, but the pre-show begins at 2. They're selling tickets for £20 an adult, £7.50 for a junior. And if you go to the Peace Hospice website, you can it tells you how to book the tickets, group bookings, and basically the Peace Hospice will receive £5 for every adult ticket bought and £1.50 for the juniors. What a fabulous idea! Yeah,
so you've got time to plan your weekend by us telling you about it early.
Absolutely.
Then we've got a couple of quiz nights coming up soon.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a run of Peace Hospice things coming up, actually. They're having a quiz night with Chorleywood and Rickmansworth Support Group Quiz Night Supper. They're putting on a quiz night and supper in aid of the Peace Hospice care. This is on, again, Saturday the 16th of April, so once you've done your rugby thing, go and have a knees up. This is at the Chorleywood Memorial Hall. Event begins at 7 p.m. And you can come as a table of 8, or you can turn up on the night, and you can make up groups and teams on the night. Tickets are £12.50, and it includes a fish and chip supper. What could be better? There is a vegetarian option. You just need to let them know what that is. There's a bar with a wide range of drinks, and there's also a raffle. So lots of fundraising opportunities there. I'll post up the link of how to get in touch with them to book that, but it is all there on the Peace Hospice website.
Yeah, and they've got 2 business networking events coming up. The first one I think we've told everyone about on the 21st of April, and they've announced the date for another meeting later in the year.
Absolutely, yeah. This is a very interesting one, actually. I've got a feeling that you said that you were going to the first one, the 21st of April. We're going to, so it'd be interesting to review that one once we've been. But yes, they're holding a second one as well. Already organised the second one before getting the reviews from the first, which is ambitious. But yes, on the first one, we've got the guest speaker as Charlie Ryan, MD of CMR Recruitment, who are based in Rickmansworth, I believe. The second one is going to have Baroness Thornhill, MB, Mayor of Watford. As we know, her very well known Mayor of Watford, elected Mayor of Watford, yeah, inviting basically the Hertfordshire business community. This one will be on Thursday, the 9th of June. It's a free networking evening, no money asked for at all, and it also includes wine and canapes generously provided by the newly opened bar Fabergé, who in fact are hosting the event. Starts at 6 o'clock. Fabergé are on the parade in the High Street, number 46, the parade. If you know where Twisted Monkey is, it's next door. It's 50 yards from Gatehouse car park, so easy to park there as well. You need to email Vicky Luke at the Peace Hospice. Again, I'll post her email address up and book in for that one. A free networking event. What could be better?
Brilliant. I hope you can still hear me, Catherine. Can you?
Sorry?
Can you still hear me?
Yes. That wasn't a comedy moment just then. I just missed it.
It's just everything is completely frozen at my end, so I'm just kind of hoping, fingers crossed, that everything's in place. West Herts Hockey have some sessions arranged over the summer.
Indeed, yes. This is a back to hockey session. As I've realised now what B2H means, it means back to hockey in this particular instance. They're having sessions on Thursday evenings from 8 till 9 at the new field. Now, the new field is in fact an address of a field. It's in Coningsby Drive, very close to the Falerians Rugby Club, in fact. Coningsby Drive off the Castleberry Estate. This is Thursday evenings from 8 till 9, from the 21st of April to the 19th of May. Very welcome to come along, and for those of you who have continued to play hockey, please come down to help and welcome the nervous newcomers. Anybody who wants to get back into hockey, that's the one for you.
Okay, that's great. And continuing the sporting theme, St Francis have got their golf day, or Berkhamsted Golf Day, coming up this Friday, I believe.
Yeah, this is Hospice of St Francis, based in Berkhamsted. Golf Day is always a great fundraiser for charities, and it's a great way for everyone to have some fun in the meantime. Friday the 15th of April, so that's a week today. They boast basically that they've got a lot of good standing in the golf world. A lot of top amateurs as well as top pros recommend the golf club there. People like Sandy Lyle, Nick Fowler have all enjoyed games of golf there. So you're playing amongst the greats. The day consists of an 18-hole Stableford competition, followed by gala dinner, prize giving, raffle and an auction, all in support of the Hospice of St Francis. It's £95 for non-members, £60 for members. There's an email address to andrea.grant@stfrancis.org.uk. Fabulous way to raise some funds for the hospice.
Okay, and St Francis have also got the Bubble Rush this week coming up soon, and it's already fully booked.
It is, yeah, fully booked. This is great, actually. The adverts obviously did them proud. The Bubble Rush is going to be held on Sunday the 17th of April at Gaybridge Park in Hemel Hempstead. The event is now closed for registration, not accepting any more registrations on the day. But that's not to say you can't go along and support the runners. The runners will have their packs. They will be checking that everything's in order with that. If they've got any queries, there's an email address they can get hold of. They're expecting around 2,500 bubblers, as they call them, on the day. It'll be a staggered start throughout the morning between 11 and 11:45. Do get there early if you're planning on running or supporting, and obviously plan for inclement weather, because that could happen too. Parking is extremely limited, so do allow yourself plenty of time, or car share. That's fun too. There are toilets, but please note there are no changing or bag drop facilities for the runners, so do be responsible for your own belongings. There's lots of other things going on for supporters, everybody else, families and friends on the day. There's stalls in the Bubble Village. There's hot food, snacks and drinks for sale, as well as a selection of fun-filled children's attractions. So that sounds fantastic. They're encouraging everybody to raise as much money as possible. They are offering people the chance to win a family day out, either at Harry Potter World or Woburn Safari Park. So raise lots of money. There's lots of tips for runners and supporters as well. So good luck to everybody. Diane, have you left us? Okay, back to me then. What's happening in Watford? We've got the BFG and his disgusterous beard. Learn about the horrible twits and create your own disgusterous hairy bristly beards. Or hear the story of the friendliest giant and create your own fizzing, whizzing golden dream. So this is part of Watford's Big Word Fest, our literary festival, part of which is supporting the lead up to the 100th anniversary of Roald Dahl's birth. So this is obviously a Roald Dahl based event. Mr. Twit's beard is coming to Watford Museum on Thursday next week from 11 in the morning till noon and 1 till 2 after its initial appearances earlier today, in fact. The other event that they've got is the BFG Dream Bottles will be at the museum at the same times on Friday, today and next week. Entry to the events is £1. You can book via info@watfordmuseum.org.uk with the names and ages of the children attending the workshop. For each activity, visitors will make a creation, and it will also be put on display as part of the Roald Dahl's exhibition at the museum. And also all the exhibited art will be entered into a competition to win a family ticket to see James and the Giant Peach at Watford Palace Theatre. That sounds like great fun. Moving on, there's still a few Easter activities that are still available. Lots of these things are free. I'll post up some of the links. This is basically through Three Rivers District Council. So there's still some play schemes available for next week at Maple Cross School and York Mead School in Croxley. There's some play ranges for slightly older young people. There's the Welly Walk on Tuesday, the 12th of April. That's Welly Walk from 10 till 12 noon. That's at Rickmansworth Aquadrome. Again, I'll post up all the links for finding out where to book these things. There's some free swimming going on still at Sir James Altham Swimming Pool, Watford Leisure Centre and William Penn Leisure Centre. Some of these things have closed this week, but some are still carrying on next week. So do check the lists for what's still going on. There's still some tennis coaching, there's still some skate sessions going on, and you can still see Alvin and the Chipmunks, the road chip film, on Friday the 15th of April from 11. Showings at 11 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. £3.50 for adults, £2.50 for a child at Watersmeet Theatre. So lots of Easter fun still to be had. Hello, Diane. Just welcoming you back there.
Yes, well, the travel site, when I clicked on the link, headed Mr. Twits just beard, and it asked him to do it for my PC. I think no, we're not going to have that. Anyway, so you've talked about that.
Yes, all done. Yeah, we're moving on to Crocsfest, in fact, announcing the date, yay, of Crocsfest 2016. This is going to be on Croxley Green on Saturday, September the 3rd. Saturday, September the 3rd. And it starts at noon, 12 noon, continues through till 8 in the evening. So put the date in your diary. There will be people coming from across the country attending, and also lots of live bands coming from around the local area. So that's Herts, Beds and Bucks, and also North London area. It's always a great day. It's always a busy day as well. So get there early, park up. There's usually extra parking on the other side of the green to where the activities take place. Take a couple of deck chairs, a picnic rug, and have a fantastic family fun day out. There'll be lots of stalls, there'll be food and drink, no alcohol served, but you can take your own on the day. Fabulous.
Okay, great. And talking of Croxley, Yellow Comedy are doing a gig there this evening.
Indeed they are, and we're all going to be there. Well, you and I are anyway. Yeah, this is something to look forward to. Yellow Comedy are playing at the Kitchen in Croxley Green for the first time at this event. Doors open at 7:30, comedy starts at 8. Our headliner is Saban Kazim, and I've seen the pictures on Facebook, they look very interesting. We've also got Chester Constable, Matt Foley, Katie Lane, Pamela Mitchell and Sean Sellers, and our newlywed MC, Andrew Carberry. So I'm sure we'll hear all about the wedding last weekend.
Yes, and of course it's a great place to have yellow comedy and a yellow cake, i.e. Chris's favourite, lemon pudding.
I mean, if there's any left, I mean, if Chris gets there first, there probably won't be any for anybody else because it is his favourite, as we know.
True, true. Now, if you missed tonight's yellow comedy, they have a whole different line of acts tomorrow night at the Pump House.
Indeed, yeah. Again, doors open 7:30. Comedy starts at 8. This is at the Pump House down Lower High Street. Headliner is Alex Perry. Also appearing are Rich Burley, Donald Coonan, Spen Cockrell. I should have my glasses on for this. Spen Cockrell, Janet Garner, Simon Lilly, and Karen Saish, I think that is. Again, MC is Andrew Carberry. Go prepared to laugh.
I think that's really good advice. Really good advice. Go prepared to laugh.
Indeed.
Okay. Now, after tomorrow night, if you've been to the Pump House, which hopefully you will, to see yellow comedy, you can then, if you've still got energy, you can go along for a boogie at the Coliseum.
Absolutely, yeah. This is their Tropicana nights. This is quite a regular, fun-filled evening. Lots of 80s music, lots of dancing. I'm just trying to see the time it starts, 8 till late. So, yeah, once you finish your comedy, obviously, then go along for some late-night music and dance. Tropicana nights at Watford Coliseum.
Okay, and they've also got a cricketing-themed evening coming up later in the week.
Absolutely. Now, I had to ask my daughter's boyfriend about this. I've heard of Tuffers. I know him. Agger's not so familiar to me. Jonathan Agnew. Anybody who's into cricket obviously will be tutting at me right now and say, well, obviously he's the BBC cricket correspondent. Knows all there is to know about it. Commentator on Test Match Special on BBC Radio. Obviously. So this is Aggers and Tuffers at Watford Coliseum, Tuesday the 12th of April, 7:30. I'm guessing that tickets have sold pretty hotly for this, so you're going to be lucky to get any at the moment if you haven't booked them already. But tickets are £26 or £22.50. You can have a meet and greet ticket, pay a little bit more for £60. This is something Watford Coliseum are doing a little bit more of these days. They're selling VIP tickets, meet and greet tickets. And very often you'll have a seat in the front 2 rows of Watford Coliseum. So not only do you get to meet and greet your famous people at the end of the evening, but you get a fabulous viewpoint for the show that they're putting on as well. So this is an evening with Aggers and Tuffers talking about cricket.
Are you going?
Well, I've thought about it long and hard, but I thought I'd leave it to the die-hard cricket fans out there. I don't want to take up a seat that somebody would happily fight me over.
Okay, and the Poppy Fields of Oz is also happening down at the Coliseum.
Indeed, yes. This is on Wednesday the 13th of April, 10:30 till 2:30, Poppy Fields of Oz. This is a creation of a beautiful set of giant recycled poppies and a yellow brick road, transporting us all from Watford to Oz. So it's all about making poppies. You can have your face painted, you can be photographed, and obviously stand on a yellow brick road. There's a £1 charge to secure the place on the activity. With support from students at Central Primary School and Boxmoor Primary School. Hold on a second, I'm just going to hand something over. There we go, thank you. Sorry, somebody at the door. That sounds like a fabulous event, something to get your creative juices flowing.
Okay, and there's a young curtain, part of the Wizard of Oz evening, they've got later in the day, there's a Young Curtain Raisers Junior Dance Company event taking place at the Coliseum as well.
Yeah, well, this is all about, there's a performance of The Wizard of Oz starring Bobby Davro and Danny Harmer, which is on Friday the 15th of April. There's performances at 3 o'clock, performances at 7 o'clock, but before that, obviously this is a well-known story. We all love the story. It's a couple of interesting actors there, and it's obviously going to be worth seeing. But before that, there's the Young Curtain Raisers Junction Junior Dance Company. Now, this is a dance company performing a group of children in years 4, 5 and 6. So it's been set up by one of the teachers at Central Primary School. Jessica Green, to enable gifted, able and talented children with a special interest in dance to perform regularly. The junction is based at Central Primary School in Watford, open to include dancers from all other local primary schools as well, and they're putting on a show before the Wizard of Oz. So get there nice and early. It doesn't actually say what time the curtain raisers are on. I'm saying get there an hour early or so, and you should be sure to see them. But yeah, definitely something that's encouraging some local young talent. Fantastic idea.
Okay, that's great. And the Wizard of Oz is on as well.
Yes, yeah, well this is what I just mentioned. So the curtain raisers is first, then we got the Wizard of Oz, comedy legend Bobby Davro. Danny Harmer is also in it as our beloved Dorothy. Danny Harmer, if you don't know her, Tracy Beaker is the programme that shot her to fame. Ask your young people about her, they'll know all about her. But yes, this should be a fantastic performance. Tickets are £20, concessions are £2 off, family of 4, £17.25. So that sounds like a fabulous day. Something for everybody there.
The implication that we're not young is not something I wish to consider.
Let's call it a classic event then, shall we? Then it's open to everybody.
Okay. Watford Palace Theatre have something slightly different on at the moment.
Yes, absolutely. Now this is something that is a bit of a nod to Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, but this is called Layla, the musical. If you imagine a Persian desert and our bittersweet story of our star-crossed lovers, Layla and Majnun. So this has been put together by the team that made Britain's Got Bhangra. So we're expecting some Indian flavours here, but it's a contemporary musical retelling the greatest love story from the East. So this is on, there's a whole set of dates for this because there's some preview dates as well. It's on from the 6th of April. Actually, no it isn't, no I tell a lie. It's on from the 2nd of April to the 6th for a preview. Now these are cheaper tickets because basically it's a preview, they want some public opinion and they're still sort of putting the show together a bit.
Week.
Sorry?
Which was last week, so now they're doing it properly, are they?
Okay, so you've missed the previews, so that's your location. Looked on the website. So if you want tickets to this one, must do more prep. If you want tickets to this one from today, it runs to the 17th of April. Yeah, there's a whole range of prices of tickets. So go and have a look on the website. Tickets range from £22.50 to down to £12, depending on which day you want to go and whether you're a rumour member. If you're a rumour member, you're a young person aged between 16 and 25. You can get cheaper tickets. Whether you're a group with the concessions. So there's a whole range of tickets depending on when you want to go. Have a look on the website, book your tickets up, and enjoy the show.
Okay, and the Hornets Pub have got 3 gigs coming up this weekend.
They do, yes. They have the Dirty Dog Band. This is on the 9th of April from 9 till 11 in the evening. The Dirty Dog Band they're a rock band. So they also do some soul, Tamla Motown, blues, indie, country, played by some extremely talented and seasoned musicians. So obviously a big favourite at the Horns. It's free entry, and that's on the 9th of April.
Okay, and the Chiltern Hillbillies?
Yes. Yes, the Chiltern Hillbillies. Oh, I was going to mention the one before, actually. The Way Back are on Sunday the 10th of April. They're from 4 till 7. Yes, rock, pop, 5-piece band. So that's 4 till 7 at the Horns. And then later on from 8 till 10 in the evening, we've got the Chiltern Hillbillies. Lots of favourite country rock, 4-piece band. Free entry once again. Go and enjoy some free music at the Horns.
Okay, that's great. Now, next week, thank you for that, Catherine. Next week, there are 3 Link for Growth events happening in the area. The first one is a Link for Coffee at Reason Coffee Shop between 10 and 11:30 on Monday the 11th. So it's a chance to drop in and say hi to Neal and to meet some interesting people and enjoy a fabulous cup of coffee at the same time. On Wednesday the 13th, there's a Link for Drinks in Rickmansworth at the Fox and Hounds from 7 o'clock onwards. The Fox and Hounds pub is the pub next to Marks and Spencer's food store on Rickmansworth High Street. And then on Thursday, if you've drunk too much on the Wednesday, then there's always to make you a hot hotel for a link for coffee on Thursday, where you can take some coffee, perhaps to sober up. Anyway, that's on between 10 and 11:30 on Thursday. Catherine, talking of food and drink, restaurant review, please.
Yeah, not just a restaurant this week. Now, we haven't been here for a while, but I was reminded about it the other day when somebody was speaking to me about it. This is the Grimsdyke Hotel. Not just a hotel, you can go there for a meal as well. But not just a meal, they do lots of different things. You can have your wedding reception there, there's a conference facility there, and they also do lots of entertainment, lots of themed evenings as well. Just to talk about the restaurant very briefly, there's a whole range of different menus depending on when you go. It can be incredibly reasonably priced, actually. Monday to Friday lunch sample menu for a 2-course meal will actually only cost you $13.95, which is not bad at all, considering they've got I think it's a AA Rosette restaurant there, a fabulous restaurant there. In beautiful surroundings, beautiful gardens around there as well. The restaurant is the Gilbert's restaurant. For anybody that doesn't know, the very brief little pocket of history about the Grimsdyke Hotel is that it was made famous because of it was the country residence of Sir William Gilbert of Gilbert and Sullivan fame. So he, obviously had a hand in at the interior and everything. His wife actually had a hand in the gardens. So there's Lady Gilbert's Gardens, which is a beautiful place to wander around, either before or after your very reasonably priced weekday lunch. You've got evening meals as well. Again, options for set menus. I dare say there's a la carte menu as well. But again, 2 courses in the evening will set you back $16.95. If you want a particularly fantastic celebration on a Saturday night or a Sunday lunchtime, it will cost you a little bit extra, somewhere nearer £30 per person. But for something a little bit different, and particularly if you want to enjoy one of their themed evenings, they have a whole host of things going on during the months. During April, for instance, tonight there's a murder mystery evening. There's a Gilbert and Sullivan dinner, Pirates of Penzance on the 17th of April. They've got a gourmet night on the 22nd of April, a spring walk with the gardens on the 28th of April. So there's lots and lots of things going on there. It's a fabulous place to get to. It's actually, I think the address is actually Harrowfield. But you will find it situated between Bushey and Stanmore, so it's very easy to find. And on a good day, you can see right the way through to Wembley and see the arch of Wembley Stadium. So it's a lovely location, lovely grounds, lovely restaurant, great service, friendly staff. Enjoy the Grimsdyke Hotel.
Okay, that's great. And it's been a day of technical malfunctions for all of us. What with Tania dropping off the line, as it were, and the problems we had trying to get hold of Chris, and my dropping out, and then my camera just decided to fall down, which is why I was busy adjusting it. Anyway,
I didn't have any technical misfunction. I'm just saying, just brain functionality. That's all I have to cope with.
But that's a more serious problem. You know?
You're right.
The others we can fix with a bit of technical wizardry going on in the background. Your brain would need more than our expertise.
Just got to live with it, haven't I?
Yeah. Anyway, I'd like to thank Tania very much for coming on and telling us about some of the stuff that's happening locally, and also to Neal for his views on the boxing, the football and the rugby, and also to... Oh, hello Neal.
Hello, I just thought I'd jump on and say thank you very much.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. And also thanks to Chris for his review of the market after 18 months, and to Catherine for all of the usual events that are going on and everything. That was really great. Thank you, Catherine.
Pleasure. Hope lots of people enjoy them.
Well, let's hope so, yes. I mean, it just shows, actually, we only feature a small amount each week. It just shows how much is going on in Watford that people need to know about, and Rickmansworth.
Absolutely, yeah. There's loads of things out there. Just check out all the different venues' websites. There's just so much going on. Fill your diary. It's fantastic.
Okay, that's great. And thank you very much for watching. And we hope that you'll tune in again next week at 4 o'clock for more news from Links for Growth in South West Hertfordshire. That's a trio from me and trio from
Ta-ra!
Bye bye.
Bye.